You are welcome to yet another edition of Abrahamic Mission. Abrahamic Mission is a special program that was specially designed for us to understand ourselves and to live harmoniously, irrespective of our religious leaning, be it Christian or Muslim. It is not designed to unite or to join all religions together as one religion, as some people erroneously believe. Ours is for us to live together based on your own belief. And my name is Imam Fuad Adeyemi. Today we will be discussing managing family from religious point of view. We are all aware that the challenges that we are facing as a nation now, so many people are misunderstanding it, they are misconstruing it, and their approach most of the time is against the will of their own God, the way they perceive it. And joining me in the studio to discuss this is one of our bosses, one of our great religious leader that this country has produced, somebody that we can rely on at any time. Those of us who have been watching this program might have seen his face once or twice. Is Reverend Dr. Jonah Samson. He is the current chairman of the Christian Association of Nigeria North Central. Is also the presiding pastor of Equa Church in Abuja, and so many other ones. I will tell you later. Reverend, you are welcome.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to be here once again. Happy New Year. Happy
New Year to you once again, because it's more than, if I can use Happy New Year, I will have used that English, because it's more than 2-3 years that I saw you last, but I will still say Happy New Year.
Thank you once again. It's my pleasure.
And we have the man I always refer to as the last man standing. Whenever the challenges are here, all what you need to do is to get in touch with him, Imam Muhammad Kabir Adam from National Mosque. Imam, I want to welcome you by thanking you. You are welcome.
Thank you very much. You know, he is a member of our family here in the FCT.
In FCT? No, he has graduated though. He's no more.
Because he was one the chair of the whole FCT.
Yes, I know. He was former chairman of FCT.
Yeah, before he graduated, be promoted to the North Central. From there he will go to the North and
and continue like that.
Yes.
Well, we know, you know, I don't want to, by their faces, you should be able to know that this is where this one is likely going to. We know Reverend has always been somebody that is godly and is human, so I won't be surprised whatever he gets to, by God's grace. But before we continue with our discussion today, let me quickly begin to read some of the messages that we have received. I don't know whether you still remember the way we used to do it.
Yeah, quite true.
Okay. Let me start with this one. They say, why is it that Quran is not in English language as compared to Bible? He said his name is Tafa Kohoga from Keana local government, Nasarawa state.
Before Reverend says something, let me start it.
No, I will even start it because he's even talking to you. Why is Quran not in English?
You know, Quran was revealed in Arabic language,
okay,
but translated into so many languages of the world. That includes English. Even Bible itself was not in English originally, but it was in Aramaic, then later Hebrew, then later Latin. No, before Latin, this Greek language, Greek.
Yeah.
Then Latin, then English, then French, what have
and
you?
Other languages.
And other languages. Yes.
Michael Agaikoda translated it to Yoruba.
Yeah. So even now today, we have Quran in Igbo language. We have one in Yoruba language. We have one in Ibira language.
And many more will still come.
Many more are still on the way.
Okay.
I even forgot we have one in Hausa.
That one is old as the Quran itself.
Yes.
But I don't know there's Quran in English.
Of course there is.
Okay.
We have Quran in English. Yes. You can even there is one what we call transliteration, not translation. Transliteration. It is an Arabic text that was written in English
character.
Yes.
Okay, so it means you can't read Arabic. You can actually read it.
Yes.
Do we have? Well, I can't ask whether there is a Bible in English. So I think that's I can't.
I even have a copy.
You have a copy.
Of course, of course. You know,
different versions as well. Yeah.
Different version? How?
Yeah. We have King James version. We have the NIV version.
Yeah.
And so many other versions as well.
Okay. By the time we are discussing religious books, you will explain what you mean by versions to me. Do you have versions too of the Quran?
Yeah.
How?
We call it in Arabic qira'at.
Qira'at.
Yeah. So in Quran, according to the Prophet, was revealed on 7 letters. These 7 letters means form of recitation of the Holy Quran. Let me cite an example. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا. This last word ولم يكن له كفوا أحد, we have 3 different recitation on it. كفوا أحد, كفوا أحد, كفوا نحد. 3. In Surah Al-Fatiha we have صراط المستقيم زراط المستقيم. You can see there is difference between sirata and zirata. So this is version.
I think that is in the reading.
Yeah, in the reading.
That is in the reading.
Yes.
I think what you're talking about, you're talking about having the version in a written form.
In a written form. That's what I
know.
If you look at the Warsh version of the Holy Quran, there is little, not quite much difference, but little difference with concerning the words. Some few words.
Okay, we are going to discuss
in another version,
maybe another
so that we will be able to understand this one very well. I'm really interested in that version side. You want to say something?
Well, just like he was talking about the issue of versions, we have King James version, which is more or less like the original version, and then we also have other versions that and it's the usage of the language, the English words, like that. Some of the versions are simplified so that the reader will find it much easier to understand. So.
Okay, thank you. Let me continue with
before you continue, even some churches like Catholic, for example, Pope in the Vatican, normally he is not addressing in English. He is not quoting the Bible in English. Most of it he used Latin,
of course.
Yeah.
Okay, but do you speak Latin? Do you understand Latin too?
Not much.
No.
Because it all depends where one. So I don't have much of Latin.
Latin. Okay.
Yeah. Why Vatican was in Italy,
okay.
Although Vatican is a
Nobody
country of
Latin
its own.
again now.
Yes, but that is where Latin is before.
Okay.
It is the home of
Latin.
Latin.
I actually don't want to oppress you. Some of us who are from the Great University of Ibadan, we study Latin.
Okay,
speak a little bit of Latin. You know the motto of University of Ibadan, motto, they call it recte sapere vos. It is in Latin, but I just used to oppress you.
My university is a baby of Unibadan.
Yes,
so that is why.
I remember.
Yeah.
So I remember the Jos is just the first baby of University of Ibadan.
Yeah.
So University of Ilorin, for those who know. Let me continue so that they won't say I'm oppressing you. We have another saying, I've been listening to your program and I have learned that the two religions is almost the same, and I don't understand why we should be fighting among ourselves. I hope others will understand and let us live in peace. Keep up the good work. God bless you all. From Joseph from Kaduna. That's where he put it. Let me continue. This was a good morning, sir. My name is Kamaldin Isaka from Badagry. I just want to appreciate the good work you guys are putting. If this program can continue on and on like week to week, Nigeria will be better and peaceful. May Almighty Allah increase every one of you in knowledge and understanding. He said his name is Kamaldin Isaka from Badagry. Another one, right? He said, good evening, my brothers. I'm grateful to you all because I've learned something from your program this evening on our Jesus. But why didn't we Christians get exposed to the truth and some similarity between Christianity and Islam? I only knew about Islam during my first degree in the university, when I had a borrow course in Islam, and I scored 5 points because I'm serious and excited. I'm highly interested in learning Arabic language. I think what this man is saying is that the last our discussion was on our Jesus. That was the topic. It was during Christmas, bringing the Muslim and Christian together. That was the relationship of Jesus Christ to both of us, and it was confirmed that as much as the Christian see Jesus as everything, to the Muslims too, Jesus was held in high esteem and significance in it. So it was a shocking revelation to most people who never knew. Incidentally, there are some stories about Jesus Christ in the Quran that are not in the Bible. Okay. So yes, there are so many.
Because the story of Jesus in the Quran started from his grandmother, not from Mary, the mother of Mary herself.
Okay.
In fact, in the Quran there is one chapter, that is chapter number 3. We call it Ali Imran, the family of Imran. Imran is an Arabic word, but Imran means the father of Mary herself. So that is the story, that is where it started in the Holy Quran.
So thank you. There are so many, we should know, there are so many miracles of Jesus Christ that we had that were actually in the Quran, that were not in any way of the Christian. People were so shocked that day. So Islam has a lot of things to say about Jesus Christ, and he was referred to as Christ, Al-Masih, also in the Quran. According to
Innamal Masihu Isa ibn Maryam.
So you'll be surprised. You know you have been far, so you better.
He is not very much far. You see, one thing
I can tell you that of the Bible, you know, not much of the Quran, but just like you said, connecting it to the Quran, that the story of Jesus didn't begin with the birth of Christ.
Jesus Christ himself.
But started from the parent.
But when you look at the Bible also, you see the prophecies also that were made about his birth, even the book of Isaiah and other places. So even Micah. So, but then his birth came, and that's why we talked about Christmas and celebration, the birth of Christ and his ministry and so on and so forth.
And that miraculous nature of his birth, exactly that was what in the Quran.
Okay, the way it is, he was conceived through the Virgin Mary.
But I saw that the man mentioned that on the day Jesus was born, he spoke on that day, according to the teachings of the Quran.
According to the Quran,
which has never happened in.
Before Mary took him to Egypt when he was 7 days old. Before then, the first day when she comes to face the Israelite, when they talk to her, she did not answer them, but she said, "Ask him." Then they say, "How can we ask a small baby, an infant, 1 day child?" He now starts speaking. I'm so this.
I know it's surprising. I know it's surprising.
When he's simply telling us what is obtainable in the Quran, you know. But while in the Bible, okay, his birth, we believe he
all
grew
those
up
ones
with
are
his
in the
mother,
Quran. All those births are in the Quran. Everything.
And he was with his father Joseph, the carpenter.
I don't believe. Okay, don't let us talk about that. Let's continue.
That Joseph, the Quranic version, the Joseph is there, but not the same way you interpret it.
No. There are two Josephs now. There's the Joseph the carpenter, or you are talking of the Joseph, the son of Zachariah.
Not the son of.
That's the one we are talking about. He is talking about Joseph the carpenter, that was supposed to be the husband of Mary, who was just assumed to be the father and not the father. I think I'm right.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, correct.
Okay. Let's continue. I don't want us to distract us.
Well, I think
but if you want to say something,
all this teaching we are talking about is still connected to the issue of family, because eventually we'll come back to the basis, talking about the foundation of family or homes, and looking at the birth of Christ and how he came up, the training, the foundation he got with his parents.
We're interested. Reverend, I'm very, very interested. But let me finish reading this thing.
Go ahead, sir.
This person says, "Good evening, sirs. I so much admire the way you are happily discussing Jesus Christ, Islam and Christianity. But sir, it is true that the Bible, most of us did not give account of so many miracles performed by Jesus Christ, but there is a Bible known as Jerusalem Bible that where you will see more of the work and miracles performed by Jesus Christ. Thank you all. Chidi from Imo State." Do you get that?
Yeah.
He said there's a Bible called the Jerusalem Bible.
Yeah, even the Bible we are holding, didn't record virtually everything about Christ, because the activities of Christ and what he did, if they were to be written, even the whole world would not contain it. Because he came as a savior, he's the mighty God, the creator of the heavens and the earth. So there is so much about him. So what we have in the Bible is what we need, for our survival, what we need to know him more in our relationship with him. That's what we have in the Bible.
Addition to this, after the birth of the Jesus Christ, these 7 days they had with his mother in Jerusalem before migrating to Egypt. So many things happens there between these 7 days.
Okay.
And after they now moved to Egypt, where he grown up or whatever, so many things also happened there. There was a time, I don't know how Bible address it, he came as a young boy, wanted to play with his friends. The parent of those children doesn't want him to play with them. They now say, hey, you young boy, go out, they are not there. He said, no, I used to hear their noises. They say, no, they are not. They now say there are some certain animals. Do you know what happened? When they check them, they turn to animals.
Where did you get that story? In the Quran?
Yeah. So these stories, when he was young, between the age of 1 to 7. So there are so many things of him.
Okay.
Corresponding to that, I think what the Bible also talk about Jesus when he was young is when Mary and Joseph, left him, and then he was found in the temple, and when his parents came back, they discovered that he was unfolding the Bible because of the knowledge he had, and they asked him questions, and he was responding to teachers of the law there. Very, very knowledgeable. So he started his ministry even at a tender age.
Yes.
But his ministry came to 4
at the age of 30.
At the age of 30.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
at the end of 30
spent
years.
3.5 years, before his betrayal, crucifixion, his death, and then his resurrection.
And final transition.
What he says, as far as Mary, the chapter of Mary is concerned, Atani al-kitabu ja'alani nabiyya, I was given a book.
Okay.
He says, I was given a book, he said, when he was 1 day old, as far as Quran is concerned.
Okay, let's leave it like that. If you want to discuss this, then you have to tell me you will come back again. Then you will choose it. Then
so that we'll concentrate on the main topic of today.
Let me read this one so that will be the end of today's this segment. This one says, good evening, sir. I love the program so much because it promotes religious tolerance and understanding. But I want to ask the priest about the tithing. Is it still mandatory today, since from the coming of Jesus Christ, he never advocated for that and his disciples never did so? So having in mind that we are now under the law of Christ, I don't think I want us to answer that question, sir. You want to answer it, but not now. I'm sorry. We will go on a short break now.
Because if he says something on it, I also have.
Don't worry, sir. Just don't worry. We'll go on a short break now. Yes. After the break, we'll come back. Whatever you want to say, I will allow you to say it.
I have something to say about that.
Okay. So we'll go on a short break now. Don't go away. We will be back shortly. But you can also be sending your message to this WhatsApp number and SMS alone, please. 070-449-44949. Again, 070-449-44949. Only SMS and WhatsApp messages. Please don't call. We'll be back as we go on a short break now shortly.
No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together. Let's stop fighting each other. Let us live as one. Doesn't matter where you come from, your tribe or religion, men, woman, doesn't matter who you are, put Nigeria first. No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one, let's live together.
How can we develop when we're always in crisis? Families have become refugees in their country, no matter our differences. Show some understanding.
No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together.
Yeah, welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is Abrahamic Mission, and today we are discussing managing family. We know families are challenged today. The husband does not know his responsibilities, the wife does not know. Everybody is running up and down just to make ends meet at the detriment of the children themselves, and the children most of the time they don't even know what and their role and responsibility in the family. Today joining me in the studio is Imam Muhammad Kabir Adam. Imam Muhammad is from National Mosque and he has always been a regular face on this program. Once again, you are welcome.
Thank you very much.
And we have Reverend Jonah Samson. He was the former FCT CAN chairman and currently is the chairman of Christian Association of Nigeria, North Central. Is a powerful place in CAN. At least North Central holds a very important.
The seat of government is
under
his domain,
and it's one of the area that we have almost Christian Muslim at the same time.
Yeah.
So I know what I'm trying to say. So, Reverend, you are welcome once again.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
We are very grateful. Today we'll be looking at family. How do we manage it? You've started when you want to talk about the family of Jesus Christ, the father, the mother, the father. Before I ask you, you say you have something to say. Do I allow you to say it, or I should go on my own now?
Okay, about the issue of
the family, or the one you want to respond to?
I was just trying to connect that. Look, even Christ, our Savior Jesus, came from a family.
Okay.
Yeah, his birth, and also looking at his earthly father, Joseph, and the foundation he got, the training he got. He grew up in the midst of people and continue with his ministry. So family is a strong foundation that help the society. And looking at the issue of family, beside the biblical provisions that are there, each one of us seated here, we are from family. And family reflect what the society is. Family reflect what the nation has become. It connects like necklace, So to me, the issue of family is a very sensitive thing that must not be overlooked, because there you talk about values. There in the family also you talk about relationship. In the family you talk about love. I mean, the family becomes the foundation where children, grow up. So family is very essential.
So from this now, how will you now describe what a family is to us? We know so many people define it as just a unit of father, mother, and children, and in an extended family, which is more than that. How will you describe families, Imam? Supposing you are on your mimbar, on the altar, on the pulpit, how will you describe family to your congregants?
Thank you very much. First of all, family is the first ever institution that was established by human beings. In fact, it was God himself that instituted this institution, or this very important institution, that is family. The first human beings according to Quran is Adam, then the second was his wife. So God has the power to create the entire human beings in numbers at once, but he created one, then the second person, then in between the two the entire humanity sources or came up. So you can see when Adam and his wife were living in the heavens according to the Quran, later they were asked to come to this land where we are living now, that is earth. So They are living together there. Family, they live as a family. So when angels ask Adams, who is this young creature? They know she's a lady, but they refuse to. They want him to answer. Then he said to them, this is my wife. You see how he attributed to himself. He said, this is my wife. Then they now ask her, what of you to him? She said, I am his wife. I am his wife. In fact, according to the Quran, the name of his wife is Hawa. That Hawa is an Arabic word from life, Hayat. And that was she answered them too. So that is how the family started. Let me jump to come to Abraham, the father of the whole messengers of God. Why he becomes so? Because all the messengers, if you remove only few of them, let me say they are not more than 10. They are all his children. That is why we call this program Abrahamic, because most of the messengers of God are related to him. Most of them are his grandchildren, like Moses, like David. Even Jesus was related to Abraham through his mother Mary. So you can see family remained the foundation of human existence, as mentioned by the Reverend. Yep.
Okay, let me, okay, from biblical perspective, not far-fetched from what you have said, sir, that when you talk about family, you have to go back to creation. See, when God created Adam and Eve and placed them in the garden, and then God said to them, multiply. They were placed in the garden to be fruitful and also multiply. That's procreation. And Eve gave birth to Cain and Abel. And their family began to expand like that. And we know the story, what happened, and what happened between Cain and Abel, where Cain murdered his brother Abel, is found in Genesis chapter 4. And then it continued that way. Cain also had his own family, and Abel. Not only that, if you go also to chapter 5 of the book of Genesis, the Bible talk about Lamech also. So you could see how procreation continue, talking about family, but still making emphasis, like I earlier said, every human being you see in the face of this earth, he has a root where he's coming from.
That is family.
And that's family.
Yes.
That's foundation. And it's very, very critical for our society to become what God desires it to be. It's very, very important for us to look into the issue of family. That's where foundation is. That's where things hold together. The society is a reflection of our families today. Okay. Besides the biblical explanation of the foundation of the families, also seeing
that is where I want to go now. You have described family from
the biblical perspective.
And Imam too has described it from Islamic and Quranic perspective. But sincerely, now let us look at our families today. Let me start from Imam. How will you describe the families today? Look at it generally and critically.
If we say family today, there are so many different families. For example, there are a family of religious leaders. It's a family. In Nigeria, we have what we call NIREC. It's an institution where join all the religious leaders of this country, Muslim and Christians.
Sorry, before you begin to look at it as institutional family, those who constitute NIREC or religious family, they are also coming from one single unit from their homes.
Yeah.
It is what they learn from that family that they are bringing to the table in the name of religious leader, in the name of NIREC. I want you to look at the family as a human unit today. How will you describe the family today? This is where I want to go.
Well, let me interpret what we mean by family here. First thing, we have what we call couples, man and woman, who got married, and later they were blessed by God to have an issue, that is to produce another human being, and that human being will grow up, also himself would got another lady, then they will now form another unit. This is how family started. So here we have the father, the mother, the children. So this is the family unit we are talking about, and this is where the entire life started. In fact, all the people we are having on earth today, either a member of this or that family. In the African case, majority we are practicing the extended family, but in Europe, most of their family, they use nuclear family. Not only Europe, in some part of Asia, they too have nuclear family. But look at India, where now they are number one in the world when it comes to population. They practice, most of it, they practice extended family, like what we have in Africa.
Okay.
Okay.
How do you want to look at family today, especially in our country, Nigeria?
Well, let me take a different dimension or
Okay.
another perspective
Please do.
altogether. You know,
Please
looking
do.
at the family, you know, our desire is to look at family in its ideal sense.
Okay.
And if you beam your searchlight and look what family is today or what families have become, to be very frank, sir, from the depth of my heart, the family values are gradually eroding.
That's where I'm going.
And they are
That's where I'm
eroding very, very fast. There is a missing link, and I'm not too sure whether parents today have not been able to sit down. But you see, the ripple effect, the consequences, and what we see reflecting in the society today, the crime rates and all you are seeing. In fact, even the laziness, people want it, they want shortcut, people want to get things done easily, shows what family was and what family is today.
Thank you.
I give a clear example, sir. Some of us, the discipline we got from our parents made us to be what we are today.
Yes. Yes.
It was like they were punishing us.
Yes.
But today, that has made us so responsible, and we're able to take care of our families, not only with words. In those days, my mother, she has way of talking to you. She will give you signal, and she has communicated.
Using our eyes?
That's enough for you. You know? So, sincerely, when we look at the family should be where people should find joy, should find peace. But when we look at the family, some parents, let me use the word some parents, have neglected their responsibilities. And that's why today we have children that are growing up not actually knowing what their responsibilities is all about, because maybe we have absentee fathers and mothers. We are busy and preoccupied with other things, neglecting the family unit. And by the time these children grow up, they become a reflection where they are coming from.
Yeah.
And that's why today you see we are struggling with youth restiveness, because many of them, you know, lack good foundation. And to me, I think it's a call that each one of us, we need to go. I've said to myself, look, I wouldn't want to be a good pastor and be a bad father.
Especially you, religious leader. That's
so
why
it requires us to teach our children, sitting them down, even in the Old Testament time. You know, our children, if our parents who were not educated, sir, they will sit down and inculcate ideas to them and teach them moral values, what will build them up and make them to become responsible people in the society. So in those days, if a child commits any crime, nobody wants it to be associated with his family, because you want to keep the sanctity, you want to keep the name of your family. Those things are no longer there. You know. So sincerely, the issue of family is a critical thing that I'm pleading with those who are watching us, that we need to go back to the basis. Yes, we live in a time people are so preoccupied with activities and programs, but let's go back to idea.
I think I want to pity you people, religious leaders. It is even you that you are mostly affected now, because like you, for example, now you'll be so busy continuously up and down, leaving the family in the hand of God. Let me put that way.
Well, no, not so, sir. We are, in as much as we are,
I know
we
the
still
wives
prioritize.
we prioritize. That's where I'm going to. We prioritize. Imam, have you heard this, that families today is almost not there? If we look at it, we have a place called, we have houses, but not homes. If we look at it, we all have places where we sleep, but to be referred to as family, I think, like Reverend said, is no more there. We only have houses where we sleep, but home and family is almost no more there. I don't know your opinion before we go on a break. What do you see to that?
Yeah, sincerely speaking, when we say family, is a collective responsibility upon the parent to share and take care of their children. But due to so many issues at hand, make it impossible for many. Some, they neglect their duties. Some, they did not, but the situation made them not to give or to offer their responsibilities towards their children. For example, God in His infinite mercy says in one chapter, says, ثُمَّ لَتُسْأَلُنَّ يَوْمَئِذٍ عَنِ النَّعِيمِ. Then you are going to be questions on the favors given to you by God. Part of the favor, or number one favor that you will have, is to have a family, to have a children, to have a wife, for the wife to have a husband. These are very, very important favors that every human being is looking for. So after getting it, to manage it will become something else, or something very, very difficult. So at times, parents do love their children more than the way it should be. I remember when you mentioned
pampering them.
Yes, when you mentioned your mother, I remember when my mother, when I was kid, if my mother says, go and don't come, the meaning of this sentence is upside down.
Okay.
Meaning, if you want to live in peace, you better come back.
Okay.
You can see.
Go and don't come.
Go and don't come.
She said, go and don't come. But it doesn't mean that you go and don't come. Meaning, if you want to live in peace
with her,
you better go and come back.
Without wasting time, sir.
Without wasting time. Because if you did so, you know what will happen. You can be given the food and everything, and you sleep in your room, but this your body, this your flesh will talk. So you can see, now we don't have this kind of training. Yes, agreed. Majority, many people, I cannot say majority, many people are trying to take their children to school, very expensive school, whatever, but the real caring is not there. The real affection, the real love is not there.
Yes.
Because the father will go out maybe as early as 7, even before the child go to school. The father already left, and immediately the child went to school, the mother also will walk out. So in majority of our homes today, the children were left
alone
with
their own
caregivers.
No, they have gotten a better teachers now.
Some,
do you know the teacher I'm talking about? Their phone, television, and the
and now we are living in a world where somebody in China, UK, US can have access to your child here in your own house, and there is nothing you can do to protect that child, because he can have access to him through this.
Okay.
This is the problem we are having today. So most of parents do neglect their duties towards their children.
Thank you so much. I think you have raised another very important issue, social media and the family, because it's one of the greatest challenge that the family is currently facing now as a unit, because you do not have control over your family again, in as much as these children, they have access to this. I've even seen a family where the father will be in the sitting room, the mother will be there, the children will be there, and they are far from each other. The daddy will be on phone, the mother will be on laptop, the children will be on other game. There's everybody, nobody talks to anybody, but they assume they are together. Meanwhile, they are far from each other. We'll go on a short break now. When we come back, we'll pick it up from there. Don't go away.
Nigeria, our great nation with vast and rich land. Our people are strong and united. Our founding fathers, Sir Ahmadu Bello, Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, Chief Obafemi Awolowo, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, and a host of others bequeathed us a united, peaceful and prosperous Nigeria. Let us honor them by living in peace with one another. Let us eschew violence, ethnic profiling, and religious bigotry. We must avoid hate speech and other forms of derogatory words against our fellow Nigerians. Let our differences in tribes, cultures, religions, or politics be the ingredients that make our unity palatable. Let us all join hands to fight our common enemies of insecurity, poverty, and unemployment. Nigeria is big enough for us all. Let's unite to make our country a great place for us all. This message is from Sir Ahmadu Bello Memorial Foundation in collaboration with Nigerian Television Authority, NTA.
Yeah, welcome back. We are discussing family, managing family from our religious point of view today. Imam has raised one very important aspect of challenge that we have as a family today is the issue of social media or technology. Let me put that way. That the family is almost in disarray. I always tell people, you can have PhD right from nursery and primary to PhD in your sitting room without you going out. You can have it now. It's possible. You have everything without going out, coming out of your room one day. But the most challenging thing you cannot have now, we are missing, is morality, is what do you call it? The
Ethics.
Ethics. That all these things are no more there. What do we do now? Let's start from there. As family, what do we do before we begin to identify roles of each? Let's say the role of the father, the role of the mother, the role of the children. But first and foremost, let's look at this issue of technology and the family, because it's a great challenge now. You religious, I hope you'll be telling your congregants the evil effects of this. I remember the Archbishop of Canterbury, the former one, about 4 or 5 years ago, he said if he has his way, he will ask government to cancel technology in the home so that the children and the family, they will be able to have time for themselves. Situation now has changed, sir. People are no more relating. They relate with their machine, thinking that 1,000, 1 million follower. Not this follower you think you have. If you have just stomach pain, you fall down, none of them could be around you. What do we do?
Well, I think the basic things is we must go back to the basics. We must go back to the foundation and do the needful. Sincerely, nobody outside will come to help us. We must realize that there's danger ahead. Because just like you're saying, technology is good, but where you find today, social media has taken over the attention of our young ones.
Including old ones, though.
A child, yeah.
Everybody.
You know, a child can be there, locked inside the room, and his attention completely is on phone. In fact, some all through the night may not even sleep. And parent doesn't care. What is he watching? The parents don't care. And some of the things that they download, permit me to use this word, it may be harsh, but some of them are demonic.
Yes, I agree with you.
Some of them are demonic.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
So, and parents may not know. So to me, I'm thinking each parent, we need to put attention and ensure that we reorient our children and let them know. And then those who buy phones for their children at a tender age, they are not yet mature psychologically or emotionally, you are only endangering their lives. Some of them use it in order to kind of comfort the children, or to pet them, or to massage them. Those things are wrong. So to me, I'm thinking parents have a responsibility. Number two, the government. The government also have responsibility. If there's a way that the government can play a role to curtail and to control some of these things, is possible. Because presently I think there is an agitation either in US also about the issue of TikTok and all of those.
Yes, in US.
Yeah, it's on news. So we need to look into all of this issue, because you see, we want people that will take over from us tomorrow. We want civil servants, businessmen, we want professionals. But today, laziness has come in. They want everything just at the platter of gold. Children don't know hard work again, all because everything is online. How many of our children, let's assume that, okay, we just had one before I came here. We had a prayer session with my family.
Good.
And each one of them had to read the Bible. And you will read today, you will lead us in prayer today, you explain the Bible. I will throw questions. So you have to go and do your work thoroughly before the devotional time. And also, not only that, there are times also we interact and we talk about life. So I am saying that, please, parents, we need to catch them young, not allow them to be overtaken by social media. Or you may have the fine house there, you may have all of these material things, but then if you have children that are not responsible and don't know their life, they are introduced into many things. In fact, there are children who are introduced into drug addiction.
Have you forgotten one?
Through this.
Reverend, let me remind you.
Parents are lamenting, some are regretting. In fact, some parents cannot be able to speak up because they don't want the name of their family to be heard outside. So what is happening is terrible, sir. They are coercing one another and introducing each other. They communicate, they do a lot of things, and parents are very ignorant. Some know it and they are turning the other side. Sir, if we don't go back and do the right thing and hold our children and train them in the way of the Lord, you find some children leading their parents to early grave.
Imam, let me give you an insight to what I just said. About 3 or 4 years ago, some children were caught. They killed one of their colleagues. They said they read it on social media, how to make money, how to use human person to make money. They killed one of their own and they were burning the body of that person. These children are about 12, 13 years. What do we do as a family?
First thing to do, you know, these social media things have taken over the work of scriptures. So now, number one, we have to bring back the teaching of scriptures into our children. They should learn the scriptures we have, the books that were there sent by God to control and regulate our mind, our heart, our lives. So we have to bring back this teaching to our children. The problem we have, you know, your child grown up to 2 or 3, he will be taken to play class. In that play class, what they teach them is to show them cartoon. That is the same social media. After reaching 5 or 6 years, they will now start primary 1, 2, up to. Majority of the teaching that is taking place there, more than half of it is through this social media. So you can see even the whole life was turned into that. So for a child to even consider that there is a book called Bible or Quran, he don't even have that idea.
Imam, I think we have to look at it from other angle. There are some schools now that even primary 1, primary 2 children, they do their work on
That's what I'm saying.
technology.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
There are questions. So, how do we now marry these two together? There's a program we do with one organization. You know, this issue of scammers, the 419s among young people have become rampant. I don't know whether you are aware. The so-called 419, the Yahoo boys. I joined some people in organizing a program. Most of these Yahoo boys, we brought them together and we bring people who can actually change their orientation using the same technology they know to do a legal work on this thing, and they started making money that are legal, that are normal, that are not harmful to other people. So I think we should look into ways of doing this thing more in where we find ourselves. We cannot say people should not use technology today.
It is
now
not
you know
possible.
I think we are not trying to actually say that ICT is not important either. No, the world, that's where we are today. You know, whether you like it or not, you need to be versatile, and this is where we are globally. But we are saying that when you find a child that is not yet matured and then has downloaded a lot of
strange things.
Yeah, strange things in his apps, in his phones that are not useful to him. To me, completely, that's an aberration. That's completely digressing from the real thing. And these are things that we need to control. Should be controlled in school, you know, and so on and so forth, even within the family. So checks and balances matters a lot. In as much as technology is very useful, you know.
Do you know now? I have a child in my house who has not yet reached 2 years old. But that child can take my phone, bring out game, the game that I don't even know where it is.
In my generation we're in, sir.
So because they were the product of this technology, so it is
You
in
are
them.
BBC. Do you know what we call BBC? Born before computer. You people are BBC.
Yes.
We call you BBC.
The children of nowadays, they give birth to a child even before the mother leaves the hospital. After how many days or so, you go back home 2, 3, 4, 5 days, 1 week, you see the child opening his eyes watching TV. I don't know. That's the time. And
So on this note, it is very, very important to the parents to know. It is very good for them to introduce their children as early age to the scriptures.
very important.
Yeah, very, very important. At least let them read Quran, let them read Bible at that early age, so that at least they have something godly in them. Otherwise, at the end of the day, the parent will suffer.
Besides teaching them the Bible, just like I said, we must inculcate in them the good morals.
Okay.
We must let them know reality of life.
Okay.
Parents need to let their children know that life sometimes does not offer us what we desire. That's the reality. So if they don't have that in them, you know, they see you established today, sir. They don't know your life journey.
And they don't even know how you.
They don't know like your life journey. If you don't share your story with them and teach them the foundation, how you came up, okay, to have obtained doctorate degree, it's not 6 months something that you go and buy in the market. You know. So I remember there was a time I had to take my children and to a mountainside, and I inculcated idea to them. I told them my life and how I have suffered in life and how God has brought me to where I am. And I asked them, what will you do today if I'm not alive? The younger one started crying. But I was just simply to helping them to know that, look, it doesn't just come on a platter of gold.
Yes.
You must discipline yourself, you must be committed and do the needful and keep the name.
Yes.
of the family and the.
In one word, what advice will you give to us as families in this country? Just in one sentence.
I advise the whole parent, first thing to do, to fear God. They should bring up their children through the godly teachings so that they can have respect and they become responsible, and they should now know the value of the family.
Okay. In one word, because we don't have time again, what will you say to the family?
Well,
Although you've almost said it, so
yeah, to cap it up, the Bible says the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
exactly.
And to me, that's the paramount thing.
That one captures it.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for being able to
thank you.
have time to join us today. But don't forget, we are just starting this topic. We have not gotten to where we are supposed to be. But you can still be part of this program, same station, every week by God's grace. On radio, we have it on Radio Nigeria. We have it also on Citizen FM and some other stations that are also broadcasting it. Same time, you will also have repeat episode on Sunday by 5 p.m. Please invite your people, encourage your people to watch this program. It will help us a lot. We want to thank you for being part of this program today. Reverend, thank you. I believe when we call you next time, we know we will get you.
By God's grace. By God's
And
grace.
Imam, we are very grateful. We thank you. We know it has been hectic this time around, and you still find time to come. We appreciate you. We thank you. And to all of us who are there, we thank you and we appreciate you. Until when we meet next time, same station, same time, by God's grace, my name remain Imam Fuad Adeyemi, saying bye-bye.